From hidden cameras and deflated footballs to a star quarterback's shocking protest, the NFL has seen its fair share of jaw-dropping scandals. These moments weren't just headlines, they changed the league forever. Today, we're counting down the top 7 NFL scandals that rocked the sport to its core. One of these stories is so shocking, it still sparks heated debates to this day. Which one, you may ask? Well, stick around to find out. Number 7, Spygate, 2007. The New England Patriots were riding high in the 2000s, cementing themselves as one of the greatest dynasties in NFL history. Led by head coach Bill Belichick and quarterback Tom Brady, the team appeared unstoppable, winning 3 Super Bowl titles in just 4 seasons. But in 2007, their reputation took a massive hit when the NFL uncovered their involvement in a systematic scheme to videotape opposing teams' defensive signals.
Of the sports world is focusing on the news that his team illegally videotaped its opponent's signals.
If they know before the snap of the ball what your coverage basically is, they can chew you up and spit you out.
Got the Patriots in Foxborough, it's raining, it's the Steelers, and what do you know? The headset doesn't work.
Won 3 Super Bowls in the last 6 years, a dynasty. Now many are wondering if it's a dynasty built on deceit.
A scandal that would come to be known as Spygate. The scandal broke on September 9, 2007, during a game against the New York Jets. NFL officials confiscated a video camera from Matt Estrella, a Patriots video assistant who was filming the Jets coaches from the sideline. This blatant violation of league rules raised immediate red flags, prompting an investigation. What the NFL discovered was shocking. The Patriots had been engaging in this practice for years, compiling a library of opposing teams' signals to gain an unfair competitive advantage. The fallout was swift. Commissioner Roger Goodell fined Belichick $500,000, the largest fine ever levied against a coach, and hit the Patriots with a $250,000 fine. The team also lost its first-round draft pick for the 2008 season. While Belichick publicly accepted responsibility, he downplayed the significance of the recordings, claiming they had little to no impact on game outcomes. What made the Spygate even more controversial was the destruction of the evidence. Goodell ordered tapes and notes to be destroyed shortly after the investigation, leading to accusations of a cover-up. Critics argued that the NFL was protecting one of its marquee franchises from deeper scrutiny, a theory that still sparks debate among fans today. The scandal left a permanent mark on the Patriots' legacy. Therefore, while their dominance on the field remains undeniable, Spygate ensured that their success will always be viewed through a lens of suspicion. Number 6, Deflategate, 2015. If Spygate made the New England Patriots controversial, Deflategate turned them into the NFL's ultimate villains.
From the morning shows to talk radio, instead of talking about the Super Bowl, all eyes are on the ball. This ball. NFL sources telling our sister network ESPN 11 of the 12 balls the team used to beat the Indianapolis Colts were inflated significantly below league requirements. It's the latest NFL scandal, and it's dominating the airwaves.
Deflategate.
Deflategate.
This scandal unfolded in January 2015 during the AFC Championship game between the Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts. The stakes were high, with the winner advancing to the Super Bowl. The Patriots secured a decisive 45-7 victory, but what happened off the field quickly overshadowed the game itself. The controversy began when Colts linebacker DeQuell Jackson intercepted a pass from Tom Brady and noticed something odd. The football felt underinflated. Following this, league officials tested all 12 game balls provided by the Patriots and found that 11 were below the NFL's mandated minimum air pressure of 12.5 pounds per square inch, PSI. Lower pressure could make the ball easier to grip, throw, and catch, especially in cold weather. The NFL launched an investigation, and attorney Ted Wells was tasked with uncovering the truth. His findings, released in the now infamous Wells Report, concluded it was more probable than not that Patriots personnel had deliberately deflated the footballs and that Brady was at least generally aware of the scheme. Equipment staff members Jim McNally and John Jastrzemski were identified as key figures, further fueling the narrative of calculated rule-breaking. The penalties were severe. Brady received a 4-game suspension without pay, The Patriots were fined $1 million, and the team forfeited a first-round draft pick in 2016 and a fourth-round pick in 2017. However, Brady's suspension was initially overturned in court, allowing him to play the entire 2015 season. The legal battle raged on, and in 2016, the U.S. Court of Appeals reinstated the suspension, forcing Brady to serve it at the start of the 2016 season. Deflategate divided the NFL community. Patriots fans defended their quarterback, claiming the investigation was a witch hunt, while others saw it as proof of the team's willingness to bend the rules. Therefore, the scandal not only tainted Brady's legacy, but also reignited discussions about the integrity of the game itself. Number 5, Ray Rice domestic violence incident, 2014. Few NFL scandals have been as shocking and consequential as the Ray Rice domestic violence incident. In February 2014, the Baltimore Ravens star running back was involved in a physical altercation with his then fiancée, now wife, Janae Palmer, at a casino in Atlantic City.
A reminder today about the power of social media and the horror of domestic violence. A big star in the NFL, Ray Rice, is out of a job, forced out because graphic surveillance video surfaced of him hitting his then fiancée. Rice's vicious punch knocked her out, and it triggered outrage on social media. The thing is, the assault happened back in February. The NFL knew about it, but did very little. And now, as Mike Drolet reports, they've been shamed into action. And a warning, the video is graphic.
What initially seemed like a private matter quickly turned into a national controversy that exposed the NFL's mishandling of domestic violence cases. The first signs of trouble emerged when Rice and Palmer were arrested for simple assault after an argument turned physical. At the time, the details of the incident were unclear, and the NFL responded with what many saw as a slap on the wrist, a 2-game suspension.
A lot of people were talking today about the NFL's 2-game suspension of star running back Ray Rice of the Baltimore Ravens. Rice was charged with aggravated assault, but the charge will be dropped if he completes counseling.
However, everything changed in September 2014 when TMZ released elevator surveillance footage showing Rice punching Palmer, rendering her unconscious. The video's graphic nature triggered widespread outrage, with fans, advocacy groups, and even politicians condemning the NFL's leniency. The Ravens acted swiftly, terminating Rice's contract just hours after the video surfaced. Commissioner Roger Goodell followed suit, suspending Rice indefinitely. In a rare public admission of failure, Goodell acknowledged the NFL had gotten it wrong and vowed to implement stricter policies. The league introduced a mandatory 6-game suspension for first-time domestic violence offenses and harsher penalties for repeat offenders, marking a turning point in how such cases were handled. While the NFL worked to repair its image, the damage was done. The incident became a defining moment in discussions about domestic violence in sports, sparking debates about accountability and player behavior. Rice never played another down in the NFL, and his story remains a cautionary tale about the consequences of both personal actions and institutional failures. Therefore, the Ray Rice scandal forced the NFL to confront its blind spots, making it clear that issues of domestic violence couldn't be swept under the rug any longer. Number 4, Bounty Gate, 2012. Player safety is one of the NFL's most important priorities, but Bounty Gate revealed a dangerous culture where injuries were incentivized.
The allegation that players on the New Orleans Saints were paid money for hitting players with such brutal force it knocked them out of games.
This scandal centered around the New Orleans Saints and their illegal bounty program, which rewarded players with cash bonuses for delivering hits that knocked opponents out of games. While it may sound like the plot of a football movie, Bounty Gate was all too real, and its implications rocked the league.
Kill the hit, the body will die. So lay that motherfucker out. We're going to dominate the line of scrimmage, and we're going to kill the hit. Remember me. I got the first one.
The program, spearheaded by then defensive coordinator Greg Williams, operated from 2009 to 2011. Players could earn as much as $1,500 for a knockout and $1,000 for a card-off, with payouts increasing during playoff games. The Saints' Super Bowl winning 2009 season came under intense scrutiny after allegations surfaced that their players targeted quarterbacks Kurt Warner and Brett Favre in that year's playoffs. Favre, in particular, took brutal hits during the NFC Championship game, leading many to wonder if the Saints' victory was fueled by more than just skill. The NFL began investigating in 2010, but initially lacked sufficient evidence to act. However, a renewed inquiry in late 2011 uncovered damning details, including testimonies and documentation that confirmed the bounty system's existence.
We've got to do everything in the world to make sure we kill Frank Gore's head. We want him running sideways. We want his head sideways.
Commissioner Roger Goodell wasted no time in delivering some of the harshest penalties in league history. Head coach Sean Payton was suspended for an entire season, making him the first NFL head coach to be banned for a year. Defensive coordinator Greg Williams was indefinitely suspended. General manager Mickey Loomis received an 8-game ban, and assistant coach Joe Vitt was suspended for 6 games. Additionally, the team was fined $500,000 and lost second-round draft picks in both 2012 and 2013. The fallout from Bountygate extended far beyond the Saints. Critics argued it highlighted a toxic win-at-all-costs mentality within the league. Therefore, the scandal forced the NFL to double down on player safety initiatives, proving that even a championship team couldn't escape accountability. Number 3, Colin Kaepernick's protest, 2016. In 2016, Colin Kaepernick, a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, made a bold decision that transcended football. During a preseason game, Kaepernick chose to remain seated during the national anthem to protest racial injustice and police brutality in the United States.
We have a lot of people that aren't treated equally, aren't given equal opportunities. Police brutality is a huge thing.
As the protest continued, Kaepernick began kneeling instead, a gesture he believed was more respectful while still sending a powerful message. What followed was one of the most polarizing moments in NFL history, sparking nationwide debates about patriotism, free speech, and the role of athletes in activism. Kaepernick's protest was not an impulsive act. In interviews, he explained his stance clearly. "I'm not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. To me, this is bigger than football." While many praised his courage, others criticized him as disrespectful to the military and unpatriotic. The controversy escalated as more players across the league joined Kaepernick in his protest. Fans, commentators, and even political figures weighed in, with then-President Donald Trump condemning the protests and calling for players who knelt to be fired.
There was an article today, it was reported, that NFL owners don't want to pick him up because they don't want to get a nasty tweet from Donald Trump.
NFL team owners faced pressure from all sides. And in 2018, the league introduced a policy requiring players to stand during the anthem or remain in the locker room. Kaepernick, however, became the face of this movement. After opting out of his contract with the 49ers in 2017, he found himself unsigned by any team, a situation many saw as a form of blackballing. Critics argued that Kaepernick was being punished for his activism rather than his abilities on the field. Despite the backlash, Kaepernick's protest ignited a movement that extended beyond the NFL, inspiring athletes across all sports to speak out against injustice. Therefore, while his football career was effectively ended, his legacy as a catalyst for social change continues to shape the conversation about race and equality in America. Number 2, Aaron Hernandez murder case, 2013. Aaron Hernandez's rise and fall is one of the most tragic and shocking stories in NFL history. The former New England Patriots tight end was a star on the field, signing a $40 million contract extension in 2012 and playing a key role in the team's success. But just a year later, his life and career unraveled when he was arrested and later convicted for the murder of Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player who was dating the sister of Hernandez's fiancée. The case began on June 17, 2013, when Lloyd's body was found in an industrial park less than a mile from Hernandez's home. Lloyd had been shot multiple times, and evidence quickly pointed to Hernandez. Surveillance footage showed him with Lloyd shortly before the murder, and forensic evidence, including shell casings and a rental car tied to Hernandez, linked him to the crime. As the investigation unfolded, disturbing details about Hernandez's past emerged. Reports surfaced of his alleged gang affiliations, violent tendencies, and a troubled upbringing that raised questions about the Patriots' vetting process before signing him. The arrest shocked fans, teammates, and the NFL at large, leading the Patriots to release Hernandez just hours after his arrest. The trial, which began in 2015, captivated the nation. Prosecutors painted Hernandez as the mastermind behind Lloyd's murder, motivated by perceived betrayal. Despite his defense team's efforts to cast doubt on the evidence, Hernandez was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. 2 years later, Hernandez's story took a tragic turn when he was found dead in his prison cell in an apparent suicide. His death added a complex layer to the narrative, with speculation about his mental health and potential brain damage from years of playing football. Therefore, the Aaron Hernandez case not only tarnished the Patriots' reputation, but also forced the NFL to re-examine its policies on player conduct, mental health, and background checks. It remains a chilling reminder of how far talent can fall when personal demons go unchecked. Number 1. Deshaun Watson sexual misconduct allegations, 2021-2022. The Deshaun Watson sexual misconduct allegations stand as one of the most high-profile and controversial cases in NFL history. Between 2021 and 2022, Watson, then a star quarterback for the Houston Texans, faced accusations from over 20 women, most of whom were massage therapists, alleging inappropriate and coercive behavior during massage sessions. These allegations cast a long shadow over Watson's career and reignited debates about the NFL's handling of player conduct. The accusations began to surface in early 2021, with each lawsuit describing a similar pattern of misconduct. Women alleged that Watson exposed himself, made lewd comments, and in some cases, coerced them into unwanted sexual acts. These claims were particularly alarming given Watson's reputation as a model athlete off the field. The consistency across the lawsuits painted a troubling picture that many believed should have been caught earlier by the Texans organization or the NFL itself. Despite the gravity of these accusations, 2 grand juries in Texas declined to bring criminal charges against Watson in 2022. This lack of criminal prosecution became a focal point of the controversy, with Watson maintaining his innocence throughout. However, the civil lawsuits moved forward, with Watson eventually settling 23 of the 24 cases, sparking outrage among fans and advocacy groups who felt justice had not been adequately served. In a shocking move, the Cleveland Browns traded for Watson in March 2022, offering him a fully guaranteed $230 million contract, the largest of its kind in NFL history. This decision sent shockwaves through the league, as it was perceived as prioritizing talent over morality. The Browns' choice was widely criticized, with fans and media questioning the message it sent about accountability in professional sports. The NFL launched its own investigation, and in August 2022, retired federal judge Sue L. Robinson initially suspended Watson for 6 games. Her ruling described his actions as predatory and egregious, but cited a lack of precedent for harsher penalties. Dissatisfied with this outcome, the NFL appealed, eventually securing an 11-game suspension, a $5 million fine, and mandatory counseling as part of a settlement. While Watson's suspension marked one of the most significant penalties for off-field misconduct, critics argued it still fell short of addressing the severity of the allegations. The case highlighted systemic flaws in the NFL's personal conduct policy, prompting the league to introduce stricter guidelines in 2023. These changes included harsher penalties for sexual misconduct and a framework for addressing patterns of behavior or premeditated offenses. However, the controversy didn't end there. In September 2024, another woman filed a lawsuit against Watson, alleging sexual assault during an October 2020 massage session. This revelation reignited discussions about Watson's past behavior and raised questions about whether the NFL had truly addressed its accountability issues. The Deshaun Watson case is a stark reminder of the complexities surrounding professional sports. On one hand, Watson's immense talent makes him a valuable asset on the field, but his actions off the field have left an indelible stain on his legacy. Therefore, this scandal not only exposed gaps in how the league handles misconduct, but also forced fans and organizations to grapple with the ethical dilemmas of supporting players with troubling histories. This ongoing saga remains a flashpoint for the NFL, serving as both a cautionary tale and a call to action for holding players and organizations to higher standards of accountability and integrity. So, what do all these scandals have in common? They aren't just stories of individual failures. They reveal the darker side of professional sports. Whether it's cheating, violence, or ethical dilemmas, these moments remind us that the NFL is about more than just the game. But here's the big question. Have these scandals made the league stronger, or are they signs of deeper issues that still need addressing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned, because in the NFL, the next scandal is always just around the corner.